Back with the details to the news for Thursday, October 21st, 2021. I am Sherry Noel. More than 30,000 people in Grenada are now fully vaccinated. Data from the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 dashboard on Wednesday, October 20th, show that 30,053 Grenadians are now fully vaccinated and over 7,000 are partially vaccinated. More than 67,000 doses of vaccines have been administered since the introduction of the AstraZeneca in February and Pfizer in August 2021. The figures point to a gradual increase in the vaccine numbers, and so health officials continue to appeal for more people to get vaccinated to help increase the country's immunization and protection rate. During a recent post-cabinet press briefing, head of the COVID-19 medical response team, Dr. Dolan Noel, pleaded with Grenadians to ignore the misinformation on vaccines circulating on social media and focus on safeguarding their personal health and that of their families.
Technology has advanced, science have advanced, and in the middle of a pandemic, technology was there at our fingertip to give us the ability to develop a vaccine and test a vaccine in record time. And nobody said vaccine don't have side effects, but the side effects are minimal. 1 in 10 million, 2 in 10 million, people worry about clots. But let me tell you, that COVID-19 infection gives you much more clots, venous and arterial thrombosis, than the vaccine. And that can be fatal in COVID-19. So please, we have an opportunity to prep our immune system to make antibodies so that if we do encounter COVID-19, we have some protection, some neutralizing antibodies to fight the virus. So let us make use of that. And please do not let your guard down, because with 66% of the population unvaccinated, we are still very much a vulnerable population.
The Ministry of Health continues its national vaccination and testing campaign with pop-up clinics throughout the week and on weekends at various locations island-wide. Moving along, business entrepreneurs who qualify under the government's Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Support Fund program in the second stimulus package are eligible to receive customs duty and VAT exemptions until December 31st. This was disclosed during a virtual discussion by the Grenada Industrial Development Corporation and the Grenada Development Bank on Wednesday. The Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises COVID-19 Support Fund provides an opportunity for loan financing to COVID-19 affected MSMEs to obtain a loan of over $40,000, up to a maximum of $300,000 at 1% interest rate, but with an exception for some sectors. It is part of the government's COVID-19 Economic Support Stimulus Package 2.0. Sherilyn Sylvester, GIDC's Investment Facilitation Specialist, said the stimulus package caters to businesses in tourism, hospitality, agribusiness, energy, ICT, and education and health. To qualify for the support and the benefits, businesses must be registered with the NIS and Inland Revenue.
If you have any arrears in taxes, or NIS, you must either pay it off, liquidate it, or you establish a payment plan with these institutions to liquidate the outstanding liabilities. So in looking at that is the first two eligibility requirements. I will look at the others as I speak, irrelevant to the area. Now, in looking at the MSMEs, we look at the priority sectors first, MSMEs in the priority sector. Now, they would receive 50% exemption on imports of building material and equipment. If you recall, the priority sectors would receive 100% CT and VAT exemption on building material and equipment to start up the operation. And they would receive only the 100% CT exemption after that, no VAT exemption. So in conjunction with the current stimulus package, this 100% CET exemption will still apply, but there is the additional incentive of 50% VAT exemption under the stimulus program.
While priority sectors enjoy 100% custom duty and VAT exemption, provision is also made for 50% customs duty and VAT exemption for businesses within other sectors.
Under this stimulus program, incentives is now available at 50% CT, 50% excise tax, and they've now added 50% VAT. And that's across the board for MSMEs in all sectors: priority sector, non-priority sector, student accommodation sector, and the heavy duty operator sector. In the case of the heavy duty operators, they normally get 75% CET and excise tax exemption, and that will still hold true. But now there is the additional benefit of the 50% VAT exemption until the stimulus package expires.
Moving along, newly appointed ambassador to Grenada from the Kingdom of Belgium, His Excellency Hugo Verbis, commends the Grenada government for the excellent management of COVID-19 and has pledged to donate 4 million vaccines to the COVAX facility, which will be used to assist Grenada and the Caribbean. This is in addition to a recent contribution of 4 million euros to the facility. The pledge was made during His Excellency's presentation of credentials to Governor General Dame Cecile La Grenade on Thursday.
We live in difficult times indeed, during which many people got affected by or lost their lives because of COVID-19. I wish to congratulate Grenada for the excellent management of this crisis. Both of our countries have gone a long way to vaccinate our population, and I hope our countries can go back to a normal way of life soon. But as a sign of solidarity with the rest of the world and in the knowledge that nobody is safe until everyone is safe, Belgium has to this date donated 4 million euro to the COVAX facility on top of the EU contribution to that facility. And furthermore, Belgium will donate an additional 4 million vaccines to the facility in the weeks to come. We hope that bilateral partnerships can be established between our two countries in a time when the entire world is transitioning towards various forms of renewable energy. Opportunities may, among others, exist in the electric transport sector, and I would be happy to explore this further together with the relevant authorities in Grenada.
Governor General Dame Cecile La Grenade hopes relations between the two countries will deepen and that trade and investment opportunities will be enhanced in the not-too-distant future.
Your government has indicated the desire for a more active policy with the Caribbean region through the diversification of its capital investments in the areas of science, technology, and innovation, for which we are highly appreciative. We are also highly appreciative for your contribution to the COVAX facility of the vaccines which were distributed to our region. Over the years, Grenada has benefited from various areas of assistance through scholarships given to our nation, as well as technical cooperation in agriculture and trade. There exists tremendous potential for cooperation in the area of agribusiness. Grenada produces some of the best cocoa in the world, and you produce some of the finest chocolates. We look forward to enhancing opportunities for trade and investment with your country.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy. To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal. When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough, or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Welcome back. Construction work is now 90% complete on a 350-foot-long concrete road and drain project in the Candace area in Petit Martinique. The project has been undertaken by the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs and Local Government in its continued efforts to improve the road network. Contractor Rohan Thomas is pleased with the work that has been so far undertaken.
Getting materials into Petit Martinique, because you know the aggregates and all them stuff had to come from Carriacou. So basically I had to wait on a Sunday when Emilia making a trip up to kind of capitalize on it or hire it to bring up stuff. So that is just a little holdback. The weather has been good so far, and as you could see, we are about 90% complete. So things have been going all right. That's just the challenges, getting the materials into Petit Martinique.
Thomas says residents of the area and Petit Martinique on a whole are pleased with the government's decision to improve the road network on the island and applaud MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, Honorable Kendra Matchwin Stewart, for an excellent representation of the people of Petit Martinique.
Where we do that turning, the 40 feet by 60 feet, man, it used to be real terrible, even the whole road, you know. So the residents cannot be more happy, or they just want to see the completion of it, you know. And everybody working together with me, they understand what it is, because they're glad to get that road. I could tell you they're very pleased, and they're very anxious to get it open, you know. But at the same time, they're cooperating with me nice.
The project is expected to be completed in the next 3 weeks, bringing the island's total to over 12,000 feet for the year thus far. And finally, in the news, Extension officers of the Northern Agricultural District have received first-hand knowledge from the Ministry of Agriculture's Pest Management Unit on the existing croton scale disease that is now causing damage to farmers' crops and livelihoods. Officers received field experience on Thursday at the main infection point in the north of the island, the farm of Mr. Hugh Curry at Marley St. Patrick. With an all-hands-on-deck approach by the ministry, extension officers being exposed to the signs and symptoms of the pest can now aid the pest management unit in effectively mitigating the impact of the croton scale. This, according to Acting District Supervisor Dennis Batiste, was the aim of the training.
What we want to achieve from today's session is to have officers being able to identify the pests in the field, identify the signs and symptoms of the disease, so that we can share those information with the pest management unit in order for us to be able to slow the spread of the disease. The whole idea is to eradicate the pest, but eradication sometimes is more difficult than control. So if we can control it to a level where we can have sustainability within our agricultural sector, then we will say we'll achieve our goals.
The officers were exposed to the effective ways of pruning an infected tree. Pest Management Officer Thaddeus Peters says pruning is highly advised in effectively minimizing the spread of the disease.
Pruning is something that is critical to source of production for pest and disease management. Pruning also helps with the airflow and the whole microenvironment within the tree that could reduce the level of insect infestation.
Plant Quarantine Officer Francis Noel explained how chemical is used in fighting the pest.
What we have been doing is just to provide assistance in terms of spraying. We have been using summer oil or spray oil. So we incorporate a little squeezy sometimes, and we've been using some insecticides, okay, like Fast Tac, Protector, been using Numectin, Q. We try to rotate it because we don't want to keep using the same insecticide all the time, because after a while what you find out means that the pest will start developing tolerance and resistance to that particular chemical. And once you keep using it over and over, after a while it will not be as effective as I would like it to be.
A daily field team has been dispersed across the island to heavily infested farm sites to offer pesticide spraying and pruning assistance to farmers. And now for a recap of the top story. More than 30,000 Grenadians are now fully vaccinated. And with this, we come to the end of the National Report for Thursday, October 21st, 2021. On behalf of the entire news and the production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.